Hey everyone, welcome back to the Basically Sisters podcast. I'm Natalia.
I'm Ashley.
You already know what we're going to say. We'll let them guess first.
Yeah, take
We'll
a
let
wild
them
guess. What
say
did
it
we?
back to us. Say it to us
Yeah.
first this week.
Okay.
All
Yeah.
right, thank you.
Three,
Okay. Two,
2,
one.
1.
Happy Monday. Oh,
Happy Monday. That's
I
well.
thought,
That's what they're supposed to say.
yeah, they were supposed to say it. Okay. Thank you for saying it to us this week. We appreciate it. We're having a good
and
Monday.
if and if you didn't, just know next week,
Be
say it
prepared.
back.
Say it
Yeah,
back.
say it
Say it
back.
back. I'm weak.
But yeah,
How's
we hope you're
your
obviously having a good Monday so far. If you're listening to it on Mondays, y'all gotta let us know what days y'all actually be listening to it. I think a lot
We're
of
gonna
people
actually
actually
do a
listen
poll. We
to
say
it.
it every week. We're gonna do polls. We're gonna do a poll. I want to figure
Yeah,
out what days. I want to do like some statistics on when people listen to it, where they listen to it, because I know it's
yeah,
a big commute. Like most people listen to podcasts like on their
commuting,
commute or at work, or but maybe some people just be chilling, listening to us, and you know what?
just
We
vibing.
respect it. So just let us know. We're gonna do something on Instagram at some point. I want to do like a little, get some data.
Not data.
Runs
I'm done.
crunch some numbers, run the
She's trying to
numbers.
she's trying to crunch some numbers, see what's popping.
I'm trying to
Which,
make
hey,
some, pivot tables. That
oh
makes
my
sense.
God. Goodbye. 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 Also, I couldn't tell you the last time I made a damn pivot table.
Yeah, they're
When was the last
they're
time you made a pivot table?
like last week.
Oh, all right. Bears. Shout out to you, I guess, huh? Um, but yeah, how are you doing this week so far?
I'm doing pretty good, vibing. Same old, same old. Every day goes by. I feel like the fall is always busy, no matter
Mm-hmm.
what. Like, I don't know what it is. It's that transition into like winter. Like, where I feel like it's everyone trying to like fit all these things in before like it gets cold.
Yeah.
So I
Yeah.
feel like I've been every weekend I'm like booked until like November, and I've been pretty busy this week too. I've had like a lot of things going on, but it's been good. Staying active, and yeah, it's been pretty nice. I'm kind of excited for this like cooler weather, you know,
Yeah.
to come in. I'm kind of over the humidity and like having to run my AC all the time, but yeah. Other than that, everything's been good. How are you? How's life treating you?
It's been treating me, child. Today I had an interesting day. I got a nice little $600 fix that I need to fix for my car,
Oh, I thought you
which
said you
was
got a
unexpected.
$600 like check. I was like,
No,
okay,
no, I wait.
where are we going to eat?
God, hey, if you got some extra PPP loans, run them my way because, child, that was an unexpected expense. I'm like,
Oh, what,
okay,
your car?
yeah, I didn't think it was. So basically, my car's been making
It's
noise. It sounds like a rocket ship is about to take off when you start it. And it's
what
like
was the issue? Oh,
the exhaust pipe is like
like I know.
rusted from like basically the front to the back. Like they basically have to replace almost the whole thing. So
Mm.
that should be fun, but that really did upset me today because I
Yeah,
was
it's
not
never
expecting
fun
that.
when you have to, and I guess you haven't really done any like big investments in your car though, have you? Yeah, this is like the first
Well,
one.
I feel like yeah, that's like the biggest, I guess. Like I bought
And you've had your
tires.
car for a while, so
Yeah, so it
it
is what it is, I
happens.
guess.
It's not
I just want
fun, but
Yeah, it is what it is, whatever. I just had to I was not impressed with that. I was like, "What? 600?" I was over here thinking like 300, maybe 400. When they put 6 before tax,
yeah.
I said, "Babe, how you going to do that to me?" But whatever, it's fine.
Yeah.
So we move. I'm not going to stress about it. It has to get done anyway, so whatever.
Yeah.
So I took a nap though after that. That's how I deal with my problems, guys. I just take a nap. Calms me
Okay.
down. I slept for like 3 hours. It really just made me feel better. But other than that, I've just been vibing, I guess. I don't think anything new has really happened. I just been recovering, child.
Are you still
We had
recovering?
quite the weekend. Well, I still felt horrendous on Monday. I'm like, okay.
Yeah, I did too,
This
but I had to push
the
through it.
recovery the recovery speed isn't as fast as it used to be. I'm starting to realize that with age.
Yeah.
And my brother used to tell me that all the time, and I'm like, "Shut up. You don't know what you're talking about."
Everyone says that. Adults say
Yeah.
that, and it's true. I feel like for me
It's
though now,
actually
like
true.
I don't. I think it's because like I don't really have much time. I only have like a day to recover, and then like Monday, the week starts again. You have to. I don't really have much time to think about like. I don't know. I feel like the more time I think about it, like for example, if it's like a Friday and I had to recover like Saturday, Sunday, then I'll be like dragging it on. But if it was like a Saturday I went out and I'll had for Sunday, I'm like, all right, that's all I have. I have to be good for Monday because I'm
Yeah.
not like I can't bring it into the week.
Yeah. Well,
But
usually my Mondays are like Sundays for me. So I feel like my week actually starts on Tuesday, but
yeah,
that's just how I've always like for the past like 2 years. That's kind of how I've like when I was working, that's how I would set up my schedule. Like Mondays I'm off.
hmm
Thank you. We start back on Tuesday. I need that day too. Um, but other than that, it's I've been vibing, I guess. Kind of just like plotting the remainder of the year. 'Cause it's basically like the fourth quarter of the
that's
year is
so
about to
crazy to
start.
think about. We're about to.
I
We're
can't
already mid.
believe it.
We're past mid September. We're going into October. That's. I don't know where this year went. I mean, I'm not like disappointed in the year. I feel like a lot happened and like but I just crazy to think how time is just flying by. But yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Well,
last
that
quarter, I
leads
guess.
that leads into what I wanted to talk about today because Natalia is usually the one bringing the topics. I thought this could just be a relaxing conversation, like always, of us just debriefing summer 2022. Child, let me tell you, I had a ball. Like, I really
Yeah.
think that, and I feel like this is a lot, this is for everyone too. Like, since like we had like 2 years in the pandemic, like everyone kind of just went like, we're living like it's our last babe.
No, we
Like,
really did. I feel like that was the definition of the summer, honestly. Like,
yeah, like I've traveled more than I've ever traveled. And I really didn't travel that much, but
yeah.
that's the most I've traveled probably like my whole life
hmm
in just the summer months. Like I went all over. Um and yeah, just I'm just thinking about it cuz yeah, like the weather is starting to get. Also,
hmm
let me just say this little tidbit. I don't know if I don't know if it's just upstate New York or if it's New York City too. Baby, them mornings, whew, this morning it was ice cold outside,
Oh, really?
freezing. Oh my,
Oh gosh,
bro,
can't relate.
cold as hell,
It's
bro,
still I kind of wish it was a little bit cooler because when I stand on that platform, I'm like, yo, I don't need to be sweating right now. The sun's just
bro.
baking.
It was so cold. I had like a
Oh, it's starting
quarter
that
zip
weather where
on.
it's cold in the morning, hot in the afternoon.
That's exactly where I was going with this.
Yeah, you
So
gotta love
when
that.
was it? Yesterday. Yeah, yesterday morning I went out early, like 7 a.m. I went to Target just to get like a couple things because I really didn't want to go outside um during the day. I'm like, let me just get my things and leave. No one's at Target. I don't want to deal with the headache. And then later on in the day, I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna go thrifting. I went thrifting because I'm like, let me get some little pieces for the fall. Because the weather was cold. So I'm like, okay, I need to start thinking about like what I'm
Did you
actually
find
gonna
any
wear. Cause
pieces?
like, yeah, I got a couple pieces.
Okay,
Um,
nice.
But I was like, okay, I need to like start figuring out what I'm gonna wear because like the bodysuits, unfortunately, sleeveless bodysuits, their time is slowly coming to an end for the season.
I mean,
So
I
I'm
feel
like,
like you could
okay,
always wear them, but like you have to layer it. I
you gotta
feel
layer it, yeah.
like you have to wear a
But
jacket, but
exactly. But I wore the same thing that I wore in the morning, Bro, yesterday was just too much. It was freezing in the morning, right? Then I'm like, okay, came back home. Then I went back out at like noon. Went out. It was a little warm. I'm like,
Hmm.
okay. Then it started raining. I'm like, what is happening right now?
Oh, really?
Then it
Rain there?
stopped raining. Then it got hot as hell. Like it was like 80. I'm like, how does one I
One
don't
thing
understand
about
how I
the
was supposed to
weather in
dress for that.
upstate is it's gonna take you through a lot of different emotions in one day.
I'm like,
Like, you
okay,
don't know where the day will take you.
I wore like leggings and like my like a Nike quarter zip. But I think it was like Under Armour because it was like a thicker one because it was
Mhm.
cold. So I'm like, okay. So then I just wore that same thing. Like I did a couple things around the house and then wore that same thing back out. Then it started raining. I'm like, okay. But it was kind of warm. So I'm like, all right, whatever. I'm not changing. Then I
Mhm.
go do whatever errands I do, come back outside. It's hot. Like my car, the temperature said 80 degrees. I'm like, I'm in leggings and a thick quarter zip right now, just sports bra under. So it's not like I could take it off. So I'm just sweating. Then I have to bring all this stuff in the house, sweat. I'm like, okay, I can't do the weather. This time period is like it's the worst because it's like it's really nice and cool in the mornings, and then like you're taking the jacket off
Then
come
it
like
gets hot once the
11:30.
sun is, like,
Then
baking
three
for, like, a
o'clock,
few
it's
hours.
literally you're cooked. You're cooked like an egg. I'm like, how
Yeah, I
does one
don't
dress for this properly, like safely? Like, I'm not trying to get sick, you know? So I'm like,
Well, I think it's
do I
gonna
wear the
start going
sweater?
down, like, actually, like, I don't think it's this usually doesn't last too long. It's, like, a few weeks, if anything. But
A
still,
few
yeah, it's
weeks
hard
is
to
kind of long.
dress. Well, it's gonna start dropping, like it's just crazy to think how quick the weather drops. So, like, it's already gonna be in, like, the 40s next week.
Literally.
That's just crazy to me. I hate that. I'm so envious of people who have, like, long summers or, like, have, like, warm weather year round. Like, don't get me wrong. I'm all
Yeah.
about I love the 4 seasons. Like, I will, like I think
No, I
in
don't.
general, I am grateful that I was able to experience the 4 seasons, but at the same time, I am jealous of people who, like, it's just so sudden. And you know what it is we've mentioned it so many times. The winters here are so long. So once that weather starts dropping, it's like we immediately are like we have PTSD from our previous long winter. So we're like, oh no, like here
Literally.
we go again. Here we go,
Yep.
long depressing winter up ahead. But at
It's
least
so bad.
it's
It's so bad.
it's it's
I'm
bad.
glad we grew up in this area because it's like, okay, yeah, we get the four seasons. Like we get to play in the snow, we get to play in the leaves,
Well, it
we
also
get
depends on the
hot
year
summers.
too. Sometimes we don't get snow. We'll get cold. We'll get
Well,
cold.
we've been getting a little too
Okay,
much
last
snow.
we got too much snow last year. It was a bit much. I was like, all right, I think I'm done with the storms. I don't need to whip
I'm
out the
done with the
shovel.
snow. I was as a kid I liked snow because yeah, I could go outside and build a snowman. Cool. Now, when you have to drive in it, you got to put your snow
No,
tires
wait till you have to
on.
shovel your car out. It's not fun
Yeah,
in the
I've
city.
had to do that. No, I've had to do that in my own driveway. That's how much snow we got.
No, but in the
Like my
city, it's
dad
worse
put
because you
my,
get all the you get plowed in
yeah, well,
with the
I'm not doing that.
yeah. I
So
don't.
miss me. I can't I'm not no. That's why I'm like I don't like snow anymore. Like it's pretty to look at, but when it gets dirty, when it's like brown,
Also, when it's like more than a foot, it's like okay, we get it.
we get it. Like how much more do we really need for you to prove like it's
Oh
snowing?
my
Like we
gosh, sometimes
get
it's just
it.
ridiculous. Yeah.
No, last year was insane. I'm like, yo, this might
We
be my
kept
last
getting
winter here,
storms
babe.
until March, end of March. I'm like, "Are you kidding me? Like, I don't need
No,
another
I think
storm."
wasn't no, there was like a storm in April or something, like the first week of April. I'm like,
It was late
seriously?
March we had a storm, I remember.
I'm like, why is there still snow on the ground?
Yeah.
It's supposed to be April showers brings May flowers, and we have snow on the ground still. So how's that gonna make sense? How's that gonna make
Yeah.
sense?
I don't know.
But
But
either or,
regardless, we won't get
I
into a
don't.
tangent on the weather. Y'all get the
That was
weather.
that was a tangent, but I forget what I
We'll
was
bring
even
it
talking about.
we'll bring it back to summer.
Summer.
I think the point
That's
is
what.
though is that I what I am grateful of is that I think we fully appreciate summer to the extent that it should be appreciated. Not saying I think everyone does because there's the idea of summer, like oh it's like no school like
Hmm.
I think it's just we grow up with that we love summer and we continue it going on, but I think for us we really appreciate it because we know we really only have these 2-3 months of like good weather before
Literally,
like it's just
for it to cycle again
indoors for
before
the rest
it's.
for 6 months, which is
Yeah,
crazy.
facts. Literal hibernation. Like you're not
But
catching me outside.
yeah, but we did do a lot this summer. I think you made a good point on like how we didn't really get to do much for a few summers, and I feel like also the fact not even that like because of COVID, I feel like this was at least for me the first summer where I financially had the money, I had time, and I had friends that were in the same position as me that could go on the trips. Because I think it's hard to
Exactly.
align those three things because, especially as you get older, it's hard for people to one, take time off of work. Like, that is probably the worst thing about working
Yeah.
is the time taking time off because you only get so many days. You have to plan what days you can get off. Some people can't take off certain days, so it's hard to do that. Two, it's hard to get your friends on the same page with going on a trip and like financially like everyone needs to be on the same page.
Yeah.
So I just think it's like this summer just worked out so well with the trips we went on that I'm grateful that it really aligned the way it should have. Like I think I don't know because I feel like in previous summers I've like tried to make things happen and like it doesn't really happen. So yeah,
Well,
I'm grateful
I
for
think
that.
that's another reason why like we didn't go on trips a lot previously, like prior to even COVID. Like
Hmm.
just the schedules just wouldn't line up. Like everyone has a summer job, like especially when everyone was in
That was the other
school,
thing.
like a lot of people had like summer jobs that they needed to work,
Hmm.
Monday through Friday. Like we're not really able to go anywhere.
And
And
those
like
were
other
also like
commitments too.
internships for some. Like some of those were like internships for me. So it's like if you have an internship, you really can't take time off. Like it's only
Exactly.
10,
Yeah.
12 weeks. Like you can't take time. Maybe a day if you but like so
Yeah,
yeah.
if you're lucky. But other than that, yeah, I'm just like thinking in my head, I'm like, damn. Like I went to Maine
Yeah. Forgot you went on
with
that.
my parents. That was such a funny trip, just in general. That was an interesting trip too,
Yeah.
but whatever. I wish we went like maybe like June. We went in like May, like right before Memorial Day, so it was like still a little cold up there.
Hmm.
And it was like foggy. It was basically the weather here now back in May.
Yeah.
But that was a very interesting trip. Then we had Puerto Rico, which child,
Yeah, that was no words can describe that trip because
that
I
trip was.
the more I look back on it, the more I appreciate that trip. I really do. Like I had a phenomenal time. I really like I fell in love with Puerto Rico on that trip. I had
I
such a good
literally
time.
fell in love with Puerto Rico.
Yeah. Mind you, I do want to interlude really quick just to speak about what's happening there because
Yeah.
I feel like it's important that we do highlight it because there is like all the if you guys haven't seen, maybe we'll talk about it later. There's a lot of things going on in Puerto Rico, especially with the hurricane and everything. Like,
I mean, we could talk about it now. I think this is a great
yeah, I feel like it's
time
like
to talk
important.
about
Like
it.
we don't get me wrong, me and Ash had a phenomenal time. Like I love the people, the place,
Everything.
everything was
Everything was
beautiful.
10 out of 10.
10 out of
Everything.
10, like I really had a phenomenal time, but there's so many underlying issues I feel like people don't talk about. And I think this goes like obviously yes, I do want to focus this on Puerto Rico, but I think in general like I feel like us as tourists, especially American tourists, we have well, I think tourists in general, we have such like a kind of ignorance when we go places that we don't
Mhm.
really like we just kind of look at like what our like currency can get us there and like oh it's so cheap here we can do this and that like we kind of
Mhm.
enjoy what we can take rather than like what we're taking from them, you know what I mean?
Exactly.
And I think like people travel to Puerto Rico all the time and like it is a beautiful place, I have a phenomenal time, but it's like, to me, it's so ignorant to kind of ignore the major issues that are happening there, you know, like the major displacement from people, specifically Americans moving there to get tax breaks. And also fact that they don't respect the communities like at all, people who move there, even tourists, some tourists really don't respect the communities also, and that happens in a
Yeah.
lot of places. And also the fact like their whole like electric grid and their infrastructure like is basically like messed up, like to a point where
Yeah.
like a lot of them don't have power. And it's like, even goes to show right now they're going through like a horrible time, like they got really badly hit by the hurricane, same with the Dominican Republic. But the fact that
Mhm.
the whole island is without power, like think about that. Imagine if the whole
Yeah.
United States was without power. Imagine just in general if all of New York City was without power, or all of New York
Exactly.
State. Like that'd be crazy. You know what I mean? Like everyone would
Yeah.
be going crazy.
Exactly.
And it just like, I don't know. I just think it's so it's just crazy to me to think that people can ignore these issues and still travel there. Like, yes, appreciate the country, its beauty and everything, but like if you're not gonna at least acknowledge these issues and try to bring yourself to for awareness and see something or see what you can do, like I just find it, I don't think you even deserve to travel to these places, in my opinion. That's my take.
Yeah, 100%. And it's really sad because, they do welcome tourists, like they
Hmm.
treat tourists with like such great like hospitality and everything like that. And
Hmm.
for people to kind of just not even, and it's insane, like Americans don't even know what's going on in Puerto Rico, and it's a territory, like it's a US territory, and people don't know
Well, it's basically a
all of this
colony,
stuff.
honestly.
Yeah.
Honestly.
If we're gonna call a bean, yeah.
Yeah.
um, but yeah, it's just sad. And that's also with like Hawaii too. Like, I mean, Hawaii, they're putting like a lot of pushback on tourists
Right,
now.
Hawaii's another good one
Um,
that we should, yeah.
um, but it's just insane, like to not, and that's obviously like by design, like American news is not gonna highlight any of
Of
this.
course not,
Like
no.
for the whole all of Puerto Rico, or a vast majority, Puerto Rico to not have power right now, and it's not like on the news really, like is insane to me.
Crazy
Because
to
I'm
me.
just thinking about like Katrina and like how like devastating that was, and that was just like
Or even Sandy, think about Sandy.
exactly,
And
you know what I
these are
mean?
all very
So
devastating, don't get me wrong, we're not, like, saying
yeah, we're
one is
not
more
like
devastating than the other,
comparing.
but we're just saying for this, for the Puerto Rico to be considered part of the United States, for it to get no coverage, to have, like, over 1,000,000 people without power is
Yeah.
just crazy to me, mind-boggling, honestly. Um,
Yeah.
and also
So
the
we'll
fact
put
that,
some
yeah,
we'll
we're
put
gonna
some
put some research.
resources in the
Well, also some places to
description.
donate. They're saying like people from the island are saying specifically not to donate to any government organizations like Red Cross or anything like that,
Oh
because
yeah,
they're
no.
not guaranteed to get the money. So it's better to donate to local organizations, like grassroots organizations, which is always better to do in my opinion, anyways. Um,
100%.
but yeah, we're gonna put some resources because it's on it's to me it's really especially after like if I mean the video we're talking about is the um El Apagón like music video documentary that Bad Bunny just dropped. But the fact that he dropped that and then like immediately after they're going through this hurricane,
Exactly.
like it's not, it's almost like not that it was like planned in a way, but it just goes to show exactly like what's true. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah,
people
exactly.
only
Yeah.
like to go, and then there's all these videos of like all these Americans go there for these tax breaks, but then they can leave right when there's a crisis. Like they don't need to be there. You know
Exactly.
what I mean? Like
Yeah.
it's like the
Exactly.
privilege they have. So I don't know.
Yeah, and I highly recommend people watch. I mean, I think that's a great place to start, is to watch that music video that Bad Bunny put out, because I personally learned, I mean, somehow I'm starting to get in Puerto Rican TikTok. I don't know. It's probably because I like all the Bad Bunny
Well,
stuff.
I think there's also
But
a
so
lot of
I've
Puerto Rican content going out right now, like because of everything that's
exact well,
happening.
I'm
So
saying from, yeah, for a couple months now I've been like on that side, so I kind of like been
mhm.
understanding more about like the political issues and things like that, like with the beaches and stuff like that. Like I've learned more about that.
Right.
But that music video put like shed more light
Right.
specifically and talked numbers and, crunch numbers like
Yeah.
Natalia likes to say. Um, so I think that's a great place to start. And just do your I mean,
Do
I
your
get it. Like
research. Yeah.
sometimes it's like it sucks because it's like you feel helpless, but there are definitely organizations that you can, at least support, share their content online if you
Right.
can.
Do a
If you're not
share
in
on
a
your
position
social
to,
media. Right.
donate or things like that. I think it's kind of like insane that a lot of people travel to all these countries and kind of just like, I get it, you just want to travel, you just want to have a good time, but also you kind of got to look at like, are you contributing to the negativity,
Right.
to
Are
this
you
country or
being
not?
like what kind of tourist are you being right now? Like I think it's really important to
Exactly.
consider it that way because like we like to like make fun of like if we see tourists like for example like if you go to Times Square in New York City like you see all these tourists and like everyone kind of gets annoyed but like that could be like some of us in other countries. You know what I mean? Like and we don't even
Exactly.
think about it. Like so I
Hmm.
think it's important. Also, like now that we're talking about like tourism, not this will just be a brief thing. There's just some Hulu documentary. I don't know if you've like seen it or not, or seen any promotion for it. I haven't watched it myself, but I do want to watch it. I forgot the name of it, but it's specifically talking about tourism and like how it's really impacting the environment in like a really negative way. And like I think it's really important that people watch that because y'all know climate change is a serious, serious issue and like
Hmm.
it goes to show like look at the hurricane that's happening right now. There's also just an earthquake in Mexico that caused a
Yeah.
huge tsunami as well. Like there's it's no lie that um climate change is occurring, but like it's crazy to think like things that we do, I mean it's hard to criticize every little thing we do because we can't be perfect humans and we're kind of like put into the society where sometimes we don't have an option. But like,
Hmm.
I think it's good to acknowledge, like, especially when it comes to tourism, like our impact that we have on these countries, on the environment, etc. So I'm gonna leave the that in the show notes for people to watch because I heard it's really good. I saw like a few snippets from it and it seems like it has a really good message. Um, because to one thing about tourism is it is a really messed up system, especially when it comes to these like lower economic where these disadvantaged
Yeah.
communities like it really like Hawaii's a great example, Puerto Rico is a great example, Bali,
I
all
mean,
these places
even
that people want to go.
Jamaica,
Jamaica, yeah, look at all these
these,
places. Dominican Republic where people just go to like these like private like it can go for like anywhere like it is a really messed up I don't know business
it's a
and
mess up business model,
yeah,
honestly.
and it takes
Um,
advantage of people who are
well,
already
it
at a
takes
very high disadvantage. So
Yeah, it takes advantage of them and it takes advantage of the country as well because, it's basically they're using the country's beauty for profit, but it doesn't even really profit the country
right,
itself
I
or
was
the
just about
people
to
in the
say that.
country. Like it doesn't pour back into them. It pours back overseas to the people that are buying all these properties and all
Right,
these
which is
building all
usually
these
Americans.
resorts. And then, exactly, usually Americans or anyone rich. Especially with Puerto Rico. I'm still in shock about that Act like 22 or Act 20
Oh yeah,
that gives like
that came out
that
so long ago too.
encourages
I remember learning about that and I was like,
that encourages Americans to move to Puerto Rico and you
well,
get
that's why a lot of
certain
people are moving
capital
there, yeah.
gains. You don't get taxed on any capital gains on cryptocurrency, stocks, any real estate.
God forbid a millionaire pays taxes. God forbid. they pay they contribute back to society. And this goes
Yeah.
back to the argument of like, oh, all these people they provide jobs. What do they actually do for society? Because they're
And
not paying
honestly,
taxes.
it would be different, okay, whatever. You don't want to pay the taxes, whatever. I would respect it more if you that money that you were supposed to pay, you donate it to like a grassroots organization
Right.
because at least it'll go directly. Even the taxes that they would pay, is it really like we don't even know where that's really going. So I would respect it like,
Yeah.
okay, if you don't want to pay those taxes, at least donate some money to grassroots organizations in that country or that
Yeah.
you support, if you support any at all. I mean, I hope you would at that point, but
Well, it just
You know, like
it's
that's a different thing,
well,
but
they
like
don't care also is the thing is like
that's
when it
the
comes to
problem.
those like gains and these like they're such in this mindset of greed and like it's just so mind-boggling to me. And I was really thinking about this the other day, like when I feel like I've been on like not on the side of TikTok where it comes to real estate, but like I've seen a decent amount of videos and I've definitely had some interest in real estate and like but I think what's really deterred me from it is the people that like are kind of like teaching, you know what I mean? Like how to kind of be very successful in real estate or in land and doing all these like investments and like I just feel like it's so like just money and profit driven rather than like value driven. I feel like it really makes people forget about their values because it goes, for example, like I see all these people, oh, invest in these properties like in Puerto Rico. Like now's the time to invest in Puerto Rico. Like all the, but do you actually think about what you're doing? Yeah, you could be
Yeah,
making a lot of money, but do you actually think about what you're actually doing? Like the impact
exactly.
you're causing, like the families you're affecting, the families you're leaving homeless
Yeah.
like this the for example the video the schools you're closing, you know what I mean, like it just is crazy to me
Yeah.
that like how people can like do these things without even thinking about the consequences because they only care about their money. And it goes the same thing with like what was I gonna say, we talked about it like a few days ago, well, obviously off mic, but like when people try to buy out when it was like popular for like people to like buy out houses where they haven't paid their taxes and like it's about to be like what is it like foreclosed or something, and all you have
Yeah.
to do is
Yeah.
you have to pay the taxes and you can basically like take over their house and kick them out. Like how could you have the heart to do that? Go evict
Why
someone?
can't you just pay the tax for them? Like clearly they can't pay it.
Yeah. They're like, here's a
Like
way
why
to
are you
get
trying to
a
take their
property for
home?
cheap. Go on here, find who hasn't paid their taxes, and kick them out. What? Like every time I see this, it's like, where has society gone that we have to make millions of dollars? Like, and are these people
Well, the
actually
problem is
happy?
there's no ethics and morals in business for the
No,
most part. I
none,
mean, it's very,
none.
very, 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 very rare. And the ones that do aren't as large and as successful
Hmm.
as the ones that don't. And that's why people are the way that they are. And I just find it so interesting because you were saying how like you were on like the real estate side of TikTok, which they try to make it seem like, oh, it's so easy to, buy a
Yeah,
home and rent it out. And if you just like really think about it, like, why are you doing that? Like, I respect a flip. Like, if you want to flip houses, I respect
right,
that more because you're giving someone a home. Yeah, it might be overpriced, but that's not really your fault. That's like the evaluator and the assessor's issue and the
right.
bank's issue because
One's
they
that one's
assessed it
different
high.
because it's like you're it's usually well when it comes to a flip I mean sometimes they're not like that morally ethical but they're usually flipping out these abandoned homes that like need to be renovated anyways, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
So
typically, yeah. But it's just I think it's also like I don't think I think they kind of do it on purpose, like the way that they present these videos on TikTok, like it kind of makes people kind of like it gives them the ick, so then they just don't want to like deal with that side anyway, which
well
even
some
though
people
real
like
estate
it
is
though.
yeah, I mean, there the thing is a lot of times these people are not trying to generate wealth. They're just trying to get rich. And they're not teaching
Yeah,
wealth and like okay, yeah, you can like there's nothing wrong with owning real estate. I mean,
right,
historically that is the way to become wealthy in America
right.
is to have real estate, and that's how all these billionaires, millionaires, are the way that they are. But that's the thing that comes with business and real estate. It's like ethics, morals, like these billionaires, I don't think that it's possible to be an ethical billionaire
Yeah,
person. Billionaire?
no
Maybe
I don't
millionaire,
think there's
but billionaire? I don't think there's any way
right
that you
because
could be
millionaire you
ethical in
could be a
doing that.
millionaire by being like a lawyer or like a doctor
Yeah.
even like there's some like actual like I don't want to say any career is better than the other, but like ones that you typically have to like go through, they're not as easy as like I don't know actually where I don't know how to compare it, but you know what I mean.
Yeah. Yeah. Like there's You
Some sort of like
I know
service
what you
job
mean.
is what I'm saying. Like you're serving others in
Exactly.
a way, but I
Yeah.
don't know.
But
Yeah.
either way, yeah.
That real estate side is toxic. So
It's
I had to
toxic
say
and it's sad
deuces.
because there's actually I watch um I forget his name, but he does like flips. Like he goes on like the Breakfast Club and he's like friends with like DJ Envy and like Charlamagne the God. I forget what his name
I don't
is.
know who it is.
But he like talks about flip like there's certain things that like you can get wealthy from without having to, your morals and ethics don't have to change. Like
Right. That's
I
what I'm
just
saying.
can't
Yeah.
understand how people could go to, what is it? What is it? Taxation office or whatever,
Yeah. Yeah.
and
Whatever.
be like,
Yeah.
yeah, this home on such and such street, yeah, their taxes, they haven't paid. There's like 10 grand worth of taxes that they haven't paid. I'll pay it right now, cash. And then they give you basically like the home, and
Yeah.
there's someone living in it. Like, if
And then they have
also
the
we live in America, so
yeah, again, I have low hopes for people, but I also see people with the argument that it's like, well, if it's not us, then it's the government going to take. That doesn't make it any better. That is
so you
not
want to be
just
like the government? Like,
yeah.
is that a flex? Like, I don't understand when
That's what
people
I'm
say
wondering.
that.
Like,
Like,
what are we like? I don't know where people. That's the thing is, I've been really reflecting lately on like these past few days. I don't know, with everything going on, like I've just really been, and don't get me wrong, there's always world issues going on, and it's like, yes, you do need to have like, in a case like you can't involve yourself so much in every single world issue because it's just you mentally can't, you know what I mean? And you
yeah,
want to,
you
like there's
can't
definitely been,
change the world. You're
you
one
can't change the world.
person.
Like I know there was like horrible floods in Pakistan, like like a third of the
Yep.
country's
Co-
underwater. Like don't get me
Yeah.
wrong, I have been looking at that too, but like again, there's so many issues. But in general, I've just been thinking these past few days with like after watching that Bad Bunny video, after watching everything like go down in Puerto Rico with the hurricane, thinking about this real estate thing, and then like watching how like it got like no coverage, the Puerto Rico like incident has gotten no, and they're part of the US, they've got like no media coverage because like everyone has been streaming the freaking funeral of the Queen of England. Like it's just like what has happened to society? Like do we just, are we just numb to everything? Do we just try to avoid, or like what is it? Are we just like corporate, like we just follow everything that corporations tell us to do, like because they don't want us to see the actual real issues? I don't know, like I just don't.
Yeah, I don't know what it is. And honestly, like for the most part, I notice things that are going on in the world, but I've learned personally that, especially after like the whole Black Lives Matter thing and the George Floyd thing, and I think I've said this on the podcast before, like it actually takes like a toll on me, like in my health.
Yeah.
Like I get depressed, like seriously, like I really internalize all that stuff and I feel so bad. And it's like, I can't really do, you feel helpless in those situations. So I think people, I mean, for some people at least, they kind of just try to block it out. I mean, me, I'm aware of certain things and I do what I can to help, but I
Right.
try not to involve myself too much because
Right.
I can only do so much. And I feel like we put a lot of pressure on ourselves to try to be like, like you said, like the perfect human that like knows everything that's going on in the world. And like, there's no way, like, even our president doesn't even know everything that's going on.
Right. Yeah.
Biden ain't really knowing what's happening for real. But so let alone me. But it's just like I think certain things, if it's close to home, then it kind of like touches
Right,
you a
because
little
we
more.
have
So like
more
I think the Puerto
attachment to
Rico
things.
thing is like we had such a great time. Like I can't say like one bad thing about Puerto Rico. Like,
Right, and
and
I
it's
think it'd be
just
the same
sad.
if
Like
we visited anywhere else, like, in the world, we
anywhere
saw them
else,
going. But it's still sad to see, like, other place, don't get me wrong, like, I'm not underweight, there's no other issue, it's not like one's worse than the other, we're
Yeah,
getting more
one is worse than
attention.
the other. Yeah,
No, they're
no.
all horrible, but I think my point is when it came to this the media thing is, like, yes, it's not our job to be, like, hyper focused on, like, all these things because like you said, we can't, it can put a mental toll on us that doesn't help anyone in the situation, but the media is what is the point of the news and the media? it's to deliver
Well,
information, and the fact that they can't cover this, like, it just goes to show, like, how messed up, like, what the you know what I
Well, it
mean?
goes to show what they're really there for. It's a
Yeah,
distraction. It's not to present news to you.
exactly.
It's to present the news that they want you to see
Right. It's
and
like,
to distract you
why do
from
we all need to
whatever's going
watch?
on in the world, whether, like they're not talking about the stuff that they be doing in other countries. They're real
Yeah.
quiet about that, but they're quick to be talking about Russia and Ukraine. Meanwhile, they
Yeah.
over here doing wild stuff in other countries too and ruining lives in other countries,
Yeah. I mean, we could go on a
but they
tangent
don't.
about this.
Yeah, we need to stop. This
Yeah,
was
we need
about
to stop. Yeah, but
this was about
again,
summer
this
2022
this
feeling like
was
summer 2020
this was a
2016.
free ball episode. We're going into different topics.
Yeah, you know us. We got that
No,
spider web
but point
mentality.
is,
Charlotte's
we're gonna
Web.
leave resources in the check out the resources below. But yeah, let's bring it back to summer 2022. What were we talking about? Oh, we were talking about our time in Puerto Rico. Yeah, but overall, phenomenal time. I will be going back at some point in the future. I had a great time there. I really did. And there's so much more
I
I want
had
to do.
Me too.
I feel like we just
That's the
scratched the
best
surface
part.
there. That's
We
the thing
scratched the
about all the
surface.
trips though we went on. Like I also felt the same with Miami was like this was my second time in Miami, but the first time I went I was younger, so I didn't really like fully like do the stuff that we did, but like I feel like
Yeah.
looking back at it, I had a great time in Miami, don't get me wrong, but I would do things so much differently next time I go. Like I feel like it was towards the end where we kind of realized like, oh, there's so much more outside of like the
South
typical
Beach,
South Beach, kind of like that
like
area,
Ocean
and what people
Drive.
say to
Yeah.
go to, like the clubs, like there's so much more, and I like definitely want to go back and like there's so many good food places, like like things to see, like places to go out to, like outside of that. So I
Yeah.
definitely also would love to go back to Miami and kind of like experience that because I think the typical like Miami thing that everyone says like what's the other one?
Story.
Story, like going to like these big nightclubs, doing that. I'm like, I think that's so overrated. Like, one thing about us is we're here for a good time. Like, we just want to experience a good time. We're not there to like show that we're having a good time. We want to have a good time.
Exactly. Yeah.
So, yeah, I think there's a lot more. Like, I would love to go back to that one too. But I think I had a great time in Miami, and I think that was more because of like the group we were with, like the friend group, because
Exactly.
we barely see each other. I think that was what made it really fun.
Yeah. That
And it's
was a
just
good
nice to go
time.
on a girls trip too.
Yeah. Haven't had a girls trip in a minute. But then what else? What else did we do?
I feel like we just like
Was that
vibe
it?
low key. Like I saw you guys like I saw my friends more than anything like this summer compared to like past summers. Like I mean, we didn't see each other every day, but like we did enough things where like I was able to see my friends. I feel I
Yeah,
don't know,
for sure. And
and
I
I
think
got to, yeah,
also with the podcast, like we talk to each other a little more now.
yeah, that's
Which
true.
I mean, I feel like we talk to each other a decent amount, but I think now we're kind
Yeah,
of forced to talk to
sometimes we
each other.
don't even talk. It's just when we're setting up for the podcast, but that's life. You know, we're busy.
Yeah, we're busy girls. What
But
else?
yeah, I'm trying to think what else
Then the
happened this summer.
city. I mean,
Yeah, I mean, my
that's
summer was
typical.
a lot going on, Loki. Like I
Yeah,
had a
yours
good
was
time. I had a good balance of everything. I had a good balance of travel, friends, family, a little bit of relaxation, and then a lot of stress finding an apartment. So it was moving everything. That was a lot that I didn't even speak about on the podcast as it was happening. Like everyone was like,
yeah, in
"Yeah,
real
just a lot
time.
going on." Lot. I'm like, but behind the scenes, I'm over here trying to apply to apartments, trying to find apartments, trying to do this and that, going down to the city,
Yeah,
coming back. Like it was a lot, but it ended up working out.
yeah,
But yeah, there was a
yeah.
lot
It
this
did
summer.
work out.
I feel like it was a very like I can't what's the word I'm looking for? A summer with a lot of growth. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I don't know. Like we experienced a lot.
evolution.
Yeah, like I feel like there's a lot of times I'm gonna look back and really remember. Um, yeah, something about this summer, and I also think, again, we've mentioned this so many times. The album, the Bad Bunny album, like
That was
the
actually the
less the
soundtrack to
summer.
summer of
It's
2022.
gonna be the album of every summer. I'm not kidding you. I love that album to death. Like the second it dropped, I didn't even need to listen to the whole thing. I know everyone says that one Bad Bunny fan, listen 10 seconds. Yeah, but it's fire. No, I'm not kidding you. I listened to that album. I immediately knew this was his best album. I still will stand on that. Everyone argues which is the best. All of his albums are good, but this is my favorite album of his. Like it's no
Yeah.
skips. I love every single song.
Yeah.
And I
I
think that's what
literally
made the
listened to it
summer
today.
better was we had a soundtrack for the summer.
Facts. I put it in the car with my mom. I'm like, Ma, you already know what I'm about to put on. She's like, let me guess. Bad Bunny. I'm like, you know me.
It's so
You
good.
know me.
Oh, I just yeah, I
Yeah. It is really
and then
good.
ending the
Um,
summer with the concert was just great too. Like there was no
yeah.
other better way to like we started kind of the summer by going to Puerto Rico, ended the summer with a Bad Bunny concert, and
Listen
like
to the album
so many memories in
in
between with the
between.
album. Like
Yeah.
I a phenomenal summer. I'm always gonna remember it. Like and it's kind
Yeah.
of like I think about it because I know in the beginning of the podcast we mentioned how like we look forward to summer so much and like how it's 3 months we want to like live it up, but I keep thinking like how I want to kind of continue this throughout the year. Like I don't want to just have like don't get me wrong, I love summer, it's my favorite season, and I love like the weather, the memories you make, the vacations you go on, but like I want that same energy like all year, you know what I mean? Like I want to be
Yeah.
able to like go on trips with my friends, like I want to be able to like still like I know it's like different weather, like and weather really affects your mood and like what you can do, but I don't want it to just be 3 months of every year that I really like. I'm like, oh, I can really live it up. Now I got to go hibernate for the next like nine
Mhm.
months, you know? So
Yeah.
I'm trying to figure out like a good
Yeah.
balance, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah. And it's hard because it really is weather. Like weather does like even though we hate to say it, like weather does play like a huge part in why people kind of just tend to stay inside in the wintertime. Like no one really wants to go out in the cold like that,
Yeah.
like to go out, get food. Like it's kind of like a hassle
It's a
to
hassle
go
at
out in
summer.
the
Yeah.
snow. Like it's cold. Like that
Yeah,
those are
it's
things
not
that
as
deter me personally. So
and you
when the
can't
weather
hang
is
out
like
outside.
exactly, you can't hang out
So I feel
outside. You
like you
can't just
spend
catch a
more
vibe
money. Like,
outside.
yeah, you can't just
Like you
go
have to
sit in
go
a park.
inside.
You have to go eat somewhere or something.
Exactly.
Or
Yeah.
go to someone's
So I think
apartment.
yeah, but I get what you're talking about. I want to keep those vibes going too because this summer was like I wonder if this is going to be one of those summers where we look back like in years, like how we look back at like summer 2016. We look back
Yeah.
and we're like, yo, summer
Well,
2022 is
people said
crazy.
like I'm in the beginning of the summer everyone's like this summer's given 2016 vibes. It
Yeah,
gave 2016
it
vibes.
gave.
Like exact.
It gave.
And if y'all don't know what summer 2016, I don't know what it was about that summer. And I can't even specifically pinpoint what happened that summer, but I just remember it was good vibes.
It was just vibes. I remember Drake dropped his album that
Drake
summer
dropped his
too.
album. I remember
I'm
a lot
telling
of
you,
Drake.
you always need a good
A good
album.
sound.
Someone
And I
has to
didn't
drop
have
a
one
summer
last summer.
soundtrack.
What was last
Me
summer?
neither.
Doja? There was a
Not
summer I
for
was listening to.
me.
I really don't know.
She
Honestly,
said
that's
there
the
was a summer. Me and Doja were like this.
okay. No, there was a
Yeah, I
summer where
don't
I could just
know.
remember Doja like all the time playing.
I think it was
Like,
last summer.
no, it was definitely like the summer before that. Now that I think about it, because it was like a pandemic song.
Oh,
But regardless, I
mm,
think it was because we were able to fully. You know what it was too is music could have dropped. Like Bad Bunny dropped some albums during the, and I do really appreciate those albums. Don't get me wrong, but I think it's because this album we were able to have memories with the music.
yeah.
It's different, and that is music in general. You want to experience music. You want to listen to. I think that's why that Drake in 2016, like we really experienced it. We were listening to it on car rides.
One Dance,
One
like
Dance. We were listening to it like end of prom, senior year.
prom.
Like we really associate these things. Are like I always think summer 2016 the music was like because it was that last summer before we went to college. Like there was
Yeah,
grad parties. We were going to like little bonfires, like pool party type
yeah.
things. Like I associated the music with that. And I think that's what like really makes summer. Like music does make an impact of summer
Well, I think,
and
and a
memories.
100%, I think, yeah, just memories in general. Like, that's a lot of times why certain songs are our favorite songs is because it's attached to a certain memory that we love. Even
Right.
like as a kid, like there's certain like songs that I remember. Like, I remember my dad playing this song like while we were driving in this car to this place. Like I remember it, and it's like I had a great time, and I associate music with that memory. So I love the song even more. Like it holds a special place in my heart. And you
Yeah.
can't just have just music. Music is literally the background and like the back
Right.
like the soundtrack to our lives, really. And that's
And you can
what
really feel music too, is the thing.
you could feel music, and it literally, I think it's, you know what it is? It takes you back. Just the sound
Right. The
takes you
sound.
back to
Well,
that
we remember
time.
that. I think it's we remember the most by like smell and sound or something. Something like
Yeah.
that. I don't know.
Yeah, scent and sound. Yep.
That's
100%.
crazy. I think that's why that the Bad Bunny song Caída, like I think I mentioned it before, like I hold
Babe.
such a close part. Like I love that song to death because like one, I just love the song. Like I would have loved the song to begin with, but I don't know what I like. I feel like it was like a time in my life because it was like that senior year, like of
Mhm.
college, like just that, especially that fall semester of senior year. Like
Girl, we had that song on
we had it on
replay. Like
repeat, and when I
you know how
say
you could
fall
put it on
semester,
repeat and you could just put the one so it just
well,
repeats the song?
every
That
pregame,
basically what happened.
every like time we go out, like always playing like that fall semester. Like I will always remember that fall semester. Like it
Yeah.
was such a good time. And then I think like I also went on, this was like the last time I went to Chile. I also listened to that like on a like it was just playing so much while I was there. Like I think that's why I hold that song so close to my heart. Like, I don't know, like
Yeah.
it really is like the memories you create with the music. And Bad Bunny always says that, like, he's like, I want you to make beautiful memories, like, with my music. And, like, I really have. There's so many, like, so much music I've created, like, so many great memories with, and, like, I'm
Yeah, me
blessed to
too.
say that because I'm going to look back, like, years on the line and I'm going to be able to pinpoint, like, I'm going to hear a song and be like, oh, I'm going to be able to tell my kids, yeah, I like had this
Yeah.
memory with this, you know what I mean? Or I went this
Yeah.
summer with this place, like
Yeah.
I don't know. That's why I love music, honestly. Like it brings people
Yeah.
together, it brings memories, it brings good vibes. Like I don't know.
Yeah, I love music straight up, like, and it's
Yeah,
just like, like anytime I'm feeling like it's so interesting. Like I know exactly what to put on when I'm
yeah,
like sad. I'm like, yeah, this J. Cole song really got me through some things.
yeah. No,
So we're gonna
facts.
put her on.
There's some music that's really got me through some things. Like I know people say
Yeah.
that to like be. I'm not even being dramatic. Like there's really some music that like there was
No.
days where I was like, I don't think I can get up out of
What?
bed.
Babe, I'm bawling in my bed listening to this song, okay? Like I remember, okay? Like it's so interesting how like we could just like immediately pinpoint where we were. Like
Yeah, where
that
we
like
were,
happens.
what
They
we were
say like
doing.
certain like things in the world that happen. Like, oh, where were you when you heard like Michael Jackson died?
Yeah,
Which I recall where I
I
was.
remember too.
Was that I was
I was at a soccer practice. I remember.
I was watching. I was in my family room, mind you. Me and Michael, not Michael, child, not me wearing my Michael Jackson T-shirt.
I'm weak.
That was not planned either, y'all. If y'all are watching the visual version, y'all peep my little Dangerous World Tour
I'm cracking up.
T-shirt. It's the Latin America, Asia, Europe '92. Either way, me and Michael Jackson have the same birthday, so I always loved Michael Jackson. When I found that out, I'm like, oh, makes sense. Like we're both legends, duh. But I was in my family room watching Keeping Up with Kardashians.
I'm really
And
done.
you know how like on E they used to have like the little red thing, the red stripe at the bottom, and it was like breaking news. Michael Jackson is like went into cardiac arrest. Like it wasn't like he died. It was like he went into cardiac arrest at first. And then like they switched like the news, like switched it from the Keeping Up with Kardashians to like when they actually started getting like footage and stuff. And I was like,
That's
damn.
so crazy. I can't imagine also like being like a person who went to one of his concerts, was like one of his biggest fans, like when that happened. You
Oh
know what I
God.
mean?
Literally.
Like, cause he
Dang.
was a person of that. Like, wow, that must have been crazy. But yeah, you're
Yeah.
you're right though.
I
Like
mean,
we were. we associate like certain things with certain time, you know,
Yeah.
especially with
Like,
music.
yeah, especially with music
Like we
or
remember
like,
where we were.
yeah. And I
Yeah.
think that's also because he's a artist, like he was a singer. So like he's created, you know,
Right. For
soundtracks
especially for
to our
people that where
lives
that was
too.
like their era. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? Like I can't
exactly.
imagine.
Like you know when you where you were when you heard about that. But
Yeah, that's wow.
yeah, but basically to sum up, summer was hitting a little differently this year, and
Yeah.
I'm 100% for it. I appreciate it. I'm so happy and blessed about all the trips that I went on, everywhere that I went, everything that I went through. Just like wow, this was like a
Yeah, the
great
summer was
summer. I
so
have
great.
no bad things to say,
The
to be
summer
for
was
real.
a much needed too. Like I feel like I needed the summer to
I
like
needed
really
this,
regroup.
babe.
Like I needed a good break. Like this was the first summer. I've said it before in the podcast where like I didn't work. Like I just could like vibe for at least a good month at least of it. Like it was so needed. Like the rest
Yeah,
I got, like I really had burnout, like we said last episode. And I meant to mention this last episode that like the way I got over my burnout was this summer. I'm not even kidding you. It gave me everything I
yeah.
needed. Creative rest, physical rest, like spiritual rest, like
Spiritual
every
rest,
rest we
all of it.
talk about in that episode, I got it all this summer. And I think that's why I'm like I was able to kind of go into this new chapter that I'm just starting like with a different mindset. Because if I just jumped right out of my master's and started like moved, started my job, everything, I wouldn't have felt the same. Like now I feel more rejuvenated. It was really due to the summer. I'm really grateful I had the opportunity to do everything I did this summer. So
Yeah, same. And that's what I'm saying too. Like, I was talking to someone, I can't remember. Um, I think it was Sarah actually just now
mhm.
because I talked to Sarah before this, and I was like, this summer was just great. Like, I couldn't tell you the last time. I think the last time that I had an actual summer, like a real summer, no work, no like classes, was like 10th grade. Like
Yeah.
after that, like I was working every summer. I was
Hmm.
then when college started, I was working and taking summer classes every summer. Like this was the first summer I could literally just like I was not working. I was just not taking any class. Like I was just doing what I wanted to do. And
Yeah.
guess what? I needed that. Lord
Yeah.
knows.
I think we both needed it and we got it and we're blessed.
And I think a lot of people need that too. And not just saying like, oh, you know, no work, no school, da, da, da. Like just this summer alone was just like
Right. And not
a
everyone
nice
gets
after the past 2 years too, like 2 years have been hard for everyone,
right.
like with the pandemic and everyone's situation is obviously different of what happened through the pandemic. But I feel like this was the first time where I was like, to just decompress, like it feels quote unquote normal again, this is what I need to
Right.
relax, just vibe.
Yeah.
But
And
yeah,
it'll
so
continue this way though. I don't want to think it was only this summer. Like I do want to continue the vibes. Like next summer will be great. Like next year will be great. Like the rest of this year will be great. Like I think it's good to kind of continue that energy moving forward, Um
yeah,
because we can't I'm realizing more and more that like I love that we do appreciate summer, but it's also depressing the fact that we only really like base our like whole year around summer in a way. Like, oh, I'm
yeah,
looking forward to summer. I'm saving my PTO for summer. Like, and like I get it, but at the same time, it's like you want to be. It's all about balance. So
yeah, exactly. I mean, I'm looking forward to fall. I'm trying to go on a little hayride. Maybe. I don't know. I've done all the like fall stuff like
yeah, we grew up
as
in
a kid, so
upstate.
like
We've
it's
done
kind
all the
of
fall stuff.
yeah, we kind of did it all.
There'll be things we'll do.
Maybe I'll carve a pumpkin this year or something, switch it up on them. I don't know. But
Maybe
yeah, I
you'll make
definitely
yourself a
think that
spooky basket.
You're so annoying. Maybe Halloween weekend. I'm really I want to
Yeah,
do
we'll
something for Halloween
see.
weekend, but we'll play it by ear because
Halloween is so overrated for me, but that's just my own opinion.
I think it's overrated as well.
I can't think of a
I
Halloween where I've actually like, oh my god, that was the best time I've ever had in my entire like. I can't. I really can't.
yeah,
There was
I
only actually there was one Halloween that I like remember was a good time.
just one
It was just one.
out of your
It
24
was that
years
one
of
where we went to
living.
that party.
Oh, in
That was the only
college.
time because I remember like I just remember like having a lot of my friends there. I think that's what made it
Yeah,
fun. But
yeah,
after that,
that
I'm
was a
like,
good time.
can't think of a
My
Halloween.
costume
And
was
mind you, this is my older years. When I was younger, I had some lit Halloweens. But as my older years.
I didn't because we didn't celebrate Halloween.
Oh yeah, I forgot I shouldn't do Halloween, but
um which is fine by me. I don't really care. I mean, as long as I get the candy, I don't really care. But I didn't trick or treat as a kid or anything, but I'd still get some candy on the low.
I'm weak.
At school they'd give candy and stuff. No, them Halloween parties in elementary school though,
Yeah, we're lit.
lit. Lit. Now those parties in elementary school were bumping. Valentine's Day party, Halloween party, Christmas party,
Yeah.
straight vibes. Straight vibes. But either way, yeah, I'm trying to keep this momentum up for the remainder of the year. It's hard for me because weather plays such a big influence on my mood. Like it's bad and I really wish it didn't and I'm trying to make it not. But I hate being
Well,
cold.
to
I
be
hate
fair,
it.
it doesn't really get like really, really cold usually until it's usually like the months that are most miserable are like January, February, March.
Yeah. So I'm trying to keep
Especially there's something about
optimism.
January.
Yo, no, February.
No,
Yo,
no, you know what it is? It's March for me.
frick.
Because February at
March.
least is a
Yeah.
short month. March is like, all right, why
Yeah,
is it still
March
happening?
goes March I feel like goes
Yeah,
to the
March actually
31st.
has to be my least favorite month now that I'm thinking about it. Because I'm like, why is it still cold?
But it's
Why?
so weird because sometimes it's cold and sometimes it's not because
And
remember
sometimes
the
we get
last
snow and sometimes it's warm.
St. Patty's Day parade day?
Oh
It
yeah.
wasn't cold. It was
Was that
like we
March or
were wearing
April? Oh, that was March, right?
no, it's March.
Yeah, I always
We were
think.
wearing like jean jackets. It was sunny out
Yeah,
and it was
see, I don't
warm.
get
I'm
it, but
like,
regardless, March,
read the room.
March, but yeah. Anyways,
Yeah.
all right. Well, we had a great summer. You know, we had to spiderweb our way into this conversation. It was a little a free ball conversation. Hope y'all enjoyed it,
A- As we typically
as we
do.
typically. Do you want to do a put you
You
on
know.
segment though?
Yeah, let's do
I
a
have a
little
few
put you
songs
on
for the
segment.
people.
Okay, all right. You got a couple songs. I think I only have maybe one song. Oh, I've been on my party next door kick. I think it's because it's getting a little colder out. You know, I don't know what it is. Towards the end of the summer, I usually listen to Party Next Door a lot more.
We've mentioned Party Next Door a
Um,
lot on this podcast.
yeah. So I was listening to West District. Oh my god, he ate with that song. These
I
are
don't know
all
that
old
song.
songs,
His
by the
songs
way.
all get kind of blurred
You
for
know the
me.
song. You know the song
I
because
probably do, but his songs all sound some of them sound kind of similar. So I mix up the names,
West District you probably don't know the name of,
but I probably
but
heard it.
he it's the same sample as Drake's Day oh duh. Days in the East. If you heard Days in the East by Drake,
Yeah, I know what you're
West
talking.
District is the
Yeah,
same thing, but it's just
yep, I
Party
know
Next Door.
exactly. Yep, and the line.
Fire. So I've been listening to that song. Really, I've been listening to the Party Pack, which is like all his other songs. So like Persian Rugs,
I'm cracking him. I think we've mentioned Rugs.
classic Party Next Door. Then I've been listening to this song called Self Esteem. It's been trending on TikTok, like it's a popular TikTok sound now. And I
Mm.
think it actually came out last year,
Oh, really?
which TikTok really It's by Lambo 40E. I don't child. I'm gonna need these artists to kind of like keep it easy on the names. Cause like how does one introduce you like that? But such a good song. Um, and then what else have I been listening to? Movado, When You Feel Lonely, because I had to, listen a little bit of dance hall, a little bit of something, something, throw
I'm
it in
cracking up.
in the mix. But that's about it. And obviously, Wizkid, Bad Bunny, staples. That's about it. The thing is, when I get like, I'll get like a solid 3 new songs, and that's the playlist. I'm
I'm
repeating those
cracking up.
until I find 3 other songs. So, oh, and I've been listening to a little bit more of Joey Badass, I guess. Not really. I've been listening to his album a little more, but I think that's it. And Larry June and Nipsey Hussle. Y'all know me. Y'all know the playlist. Y'all know the
Yeah, if
daily
y'all
mix
don't
at
put
this
it, we
point.
should put together a playlist though of all of our songs.
The thing
That'll be our goal
is,
for the next few weeks.
the thing is, we have different vibes.
Yeah, I know,
Not
but
and
they
not
can get
just
an
me and
idea of
you.
all
I'm
the
talking about
songs.
no, no, no. But
No,
I'm talking about like,
weekly, yeah, we get different vibes, right? We listen different.
we should make a weekly one, like what we're
But it's
listening to
but
this week.
sometimes it's only like 5. Sometimes it's like the same.
Yeah, I listen
Maybe
to
like
the
a
same
monthly one
songs
or
for a month.
something.
That'd be good. That'd be good. End of the
Or
month.
maybe we could do like a summer one. What we listen to this summer.
Yeah.
All right, we'll do that.
Let us know. Let us know if y'all would like that,
Put you on.
because
Yeah,
we're
they
we're
might actually like
DJs.
that. They might actually like that.
Yeah. So maybe let us get in our little creative bag. Um. But yeah, what have you been listening to?
Um, I've been finding a lot of music. I'm not gonna go through all of it right now because um, a lot of it's Spanish music. I'll highlight a few songs. First song is called Kyle by. I'm not even gonna pronounce the artist's name because no one's gonna know him, but it's a fire song. It's in
Well, put them
Spanish.
on. Put them on. You gotta say the
Okay,
name.
it's Luar La L. I don't even know if I'm featuring. I don't
Okay.
even know how you.
Luar.
He's got like a weird. He spells it weird. But he's pretty good. I've listened to him. Really love this song. There's this other song called "Cutie" by Simply T. It's like an Afrobeat song. It's really good.
Mm,
I've been
okay.
listening to that. And then, have you heard the new Jack Harlow song with Rod Wave,
Mm-mm.
"Youngin"? I
I've
kind
only
of
heard
like
the
it.
one. I've only heard the one with ESTG, the
Oh,
backstage pass.
with the music
One that we
video.
watched. Yeah.
Yeah,
Which that
I
one's
like
good,
this.
y'all. I like that
That
one
one's
too.
good. Yeah,
But
this one's also pretty good. It's called "Youngin."
see, the thing is,
Um,
me and Rod Wave, I can't get into Rod Wave. Do
I
you
don't
like
like
Rod
him
Wave?
either. No, I don't. But I like the
Okay,
song.
so just in the song.
I've
Okay,
never liked Rod Wave. I don't know what it is. His music's a bit much for me.
I think it's his voice,
I
but
think you're
honestly, he
right.
has a demographic. Like he gets like millions of monthly listeners. So clearly, he's doing something right. He's just not for
Yeah, I
me.
don't know what. Yeah, but that's basically
But I have
all.
to check that out. I didn't even know that dropped.
Yeah, it was pretty good. I listened to it like I think yesterday or something. I've been listening to it. There's a few other artists, but I'll save it for the next week.
We'll save it for the playlist.
Wait. I
That
have.
would
We'll
be
put
kind of
together a
fire.
summer playlist. What we listen to this summer.
Yeah. We should have put together a summer playlist in the beginning of the summer so that they could listen
Maybe
to
we'll
it
put together
during
a
the
fall
summer.
playlist. We should put together just a fall playlist.
I
Our
don't know what
fall
type of vibes
songs.
that's gonna be.
Maybe we could
It's
just
gonna be
do
a
a
whole lot of
summer
Drake.
our summer one.
We'll see. We'll play it
We'll
by ear.
see. Yeah, we're gonna
Y'all let us know what y'all
let
want.
us know if you want a
'Cause
playlist.
we're
But
getting ahead
yeah,
of
that's what I've
ourselves.
been listening to. Obviously, a bunch of other stuff, but yeah, that's my main. Um, yeah, I haven't really been watching anything. I haven't really had time to. Have you been watching anything new you want to highlight?
Not anything new.
We're
I'm
gonna leave
gonna
the El Apagón video though, and the
Oh
music
yeah.
video, the Bad Bunny one, in the highlights.
Yeah, for sure.
Um,
Obviously my 90 day. I'm telling y'all. They have 90-day single life. I'm telling you, that show has me wheezing. Like uh,
I'm
10
weak.
out of 10 recommend. Um, so yeah, I've been watching that. Natalia made me watch Sex Life on
Oh, I forgot I
Netflix. I
made
didn't
her
finish
watch
it.
that. It wasn't
She's
bad
like,
though,
yeah,
right?
let's watch it. W- Literally put it on. It's probably like 2 minutes in. This girl's knocked. I'm like, bro,
I've already
whatever.
seen. I was so tired, but she kept watching it though. Admit it. It
Yeah,
gets you
but
hooked. It gets you hooked.
yeah, I was
It's the
hooked. I
main
haven't
guy.
watched
It's the
it.
main guy.
I
I'm
have
telling you.
no, it's not, girl. Okay, you have a crush on the main guy. Just say it.
I
She
do.
do. If y'all,
It's the accent for me.
it's it's true. I'm done. Not the accent. But yeah, I didn't finish it. I haven't watched it since. We watched it together, but I'll
You want
probably
a spoiler or no? Do you want a spoiler?
why would I want to spoil what? Is there season 2 or something?
No,
Like what?
actually, it's not a spoiler. So her and the guy are in together in real life.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Wow. Huh.
I found that out
That's
after.
interesting. But were they
They
already together?
no after the show.
Oh, they were together. Oh, shout out to them then.
Yeah,
That's so that means that was real. That was the real connection.
I'm cracking up.
But yeah, so that's the only new thing that I was forced to
Yeah, I
watch,
haven't been
which it wasn't bad.
watching. Yeah, relax with Force. I put her on. She won't admit it.
It was all right. Well, clearly it wasn't put on well enough because I haven't watched it since.
All right, well you forgot about it, and I
Also,
think this is a
I've just been busy.
yeah. I haven't had time to watch much, honestly. I have the Bachelorette finale trash. I'm not watching the next season of The Bachelor.
Damn.
ABC, you heard it here. You're done.
Yeah. You're done. You're cut off. Hey,
They
you
keep
lost a
choosing the
viewer.
wrong bachelors. Everyone's pissed. They choose the same like basic people every time. It's like, all right, spice it up. Listen to the
Yeah.
people. Listen to Twitter.
Yeah, I don't understand how like now like we're in a day and age where like
They
we should
have
be
all
able
the
to vote.
data. They have all the
They
data
have
to
all the
get what
data.
people want, and they don't give it. So I said this about the one season where they chose the last guy I didn't like, and I watched it. I'm not watching the next season. I'm not. I'm over it.
Yeah.
I am excited for Bachelor in Paradise starting next week, though. You should
Should
watch
I
it.
watch that or
I think
no?
you should watch it. Oh God, I love Paradise.
Okay.
But yeah. Anyways, that's
Yeah,
about
you
it.
did say that was a better one
It
than
is.
just the
Oof,
regular
love Bachelor
ones.
in Paradise, honestly. I think it's better
But what
than
is
Love
the
Island,
premise
in
of
my
that
opinion.
show?
Like they
What are
bring all
they
the
trying to
previous
couple up?
contestants from like different seasons and they're on an island and they like each week like the girls have a rose or the next week the guys have the rose, so they're trying to like meet the
Oh,
person.
okay. Is it like kind of like Are You the One type of vibe? But like,
I don't remember.
have you watched Are You the
I think
One?
I've seen like once.
Mm.
Kind of. It's good though. It's good, honestly. I'm excited. I think it's better though if you know like because you know like who's going on. You're like, oh shoot, like they're going on. Like you're
Yeah.
rooting for them to like find someone. So
Yeah.
um, I've
They
watched
should
since
do
I've
that with
watched
Love
the
Island.
past. What do you mean?
Like they should bring like the ones that didn't like that didn't stay with the couple.
Love Island isn't the same because like I feel like Love Island is so repetitive. It's like they get the same type of people every season.
Yeah. I didn't even watch this last season. I'm not going to
I'm not
because
going to
what is the
either.
point?
But yeah, Bachelor in Paradise.
They had me for one season. They had me in a chokehold for one
I know
season.
I'm mad you started watching it that season too. There's so many
Yeah.
other better seasons.
Maybe I'll go back and watch
Season
them.
4, I keep telling you, season 4. Oh my gosh. That season still takes me out.
I'm done.
That was crazy.
Maybe I'll that's what we should have watched.
I
Maybe I'll
can't
watch.
rewatch
Maybe
that.
that'll
That's
be
too much.
maybe that'll be our show to rewatch.
Maybe.
Well, I'll
Anyways, y'all,
watch.
it's getting late. We're gonna have to wrap this up.
I'm
But
crying. She said, "Yep, it's late.
it's
I'm
approaching
tired."
midnight and yeah, we're tired.
It's
But
actually it actually
it is
just
midnight, just
it
on
is
the dot.
midnight. Yeah,
So
so that's time for
yeah,
us to say goodnight
good night. Well,
or
we
good
or good
morning.
morning. Enjoy the rest. Well, we hope y'all enjoyed the episode. You know, we like to spider web our way out of the com- conversation. You know what I want to do though is I want to hear what you guys want us to talk about. Like we have some things planned, but I want to get like your kind of input. So maybe we'll do like a poll or like a Q&A type thing on the Instagram of like
Yeah.
what kind of topics people like to get
Yeah.
kind of a better idea of what you guys want to listen to. But yeah, with that, do you have anything else to add?
Like, rate, share, subscribe.
And
Y'all
check out
already
the
know
the
what we gonna
resources
say.
in the show notes.
Check out the resources. Donate what you can, if you can. If not, share
Share and
share the
educate.
resources with someone that
Educate and share.
might need that information or isn't aware of that information or has a little bit of money so they can donate on your behalf. um but yeah, other than that, we hope you guys have a great week. Okay, summer's over.
We're
So
here
what
for
you gonna
fall. We're
do?
officially
What
in fall now.
where
Fall
it's
vibes
PSL
only.
season.
I'm
PSL.
coming with something pumpkin next week.
Wait. I might whip out the Uggs. No, I'm playing. That's too much. Too soon.
Listen,
Too soon.
too soon. Too soon.
But
All
yeah,
right. Anyways,
we
y'all.
hope you guys. We hope your summer was great. Our summer was great because of y'all as well. We
Yes,
appreciate
because it's
you.
podcast.
Yep. And we hope you guys have a great week. We'll talk to y'all next week.
See
Bye,
ya.
y'all.
Bye.